Hi there, my name is Christina, and I work producing television programs here at Maranatha. And this means a lot of travel, mostly to places off the beaten path, places you'd never imagine visiting. So come with me to Kenya, to a region called Bomet County. Bomet County is in southwestern Kenya, and unlike the savanna in the south or the dry and dusty north, this region is green with lush rolling hills. My task for this trip was to visit a school where Maranatha would soon be helping. The nearest hotel is only about 25 kilometers away from the school, but the journey would take more than an hour bumping along some of the roughest roads I've ever encountered. And I was bouncing so much in the car each morning that my Apple Watch would congratulate me on meeting my exercise goal halfway through the trip. But the destination was well worth the struggle. We were met by rolling hills covered with a patchwork of fields growing a variety of crops, including lots and lots of tea. Here's where I met Marzi, one of the women who picks the tea. Each day she spends hours out here picking, and she gets paid based on how many kilograms she's able to pick. She estimates she makes about $2 a day, and as a single mother of 3, making enough to supply all the needs of the family is a huge challenge. Marzi has big dreams for her kids and knows that the key to them making a better life for themselves is ensuring they get a good education. Fortunately, there's a private school right next door to her house. Unfortunately, she can only afford to send 2 of her 3 kids to attend there. The 3rd kid goes to a local public school. The difference in the education her kids are receiving is huge. We followed the kids a short walk from their home to the Kimogoro Adventist School and got a campus tour. There we found a line of dark, rundown, dilapidated classrooms filled to the brim with bright-eyed students. Sitting sometimes 3 to a single desk, they crane their necks to see the blackboard. For students who live far away from the school, there are 2 dormitories. But I've seen dog houses or chicken coops much nicer than where these students were living. The boys' dorm had 16 bunk beds for 70 boys. This means 2 slept on the top bunk and 3 on the bottom. In the girls' dorm, there were 19 beds for 68 girls. They told me the roof often leaks, and no matter how many blankets they had, it was always cold. Their makeshift kitchen feeds all the students each day, and all of the food is prepared over open fires. And the level of sanitation would definitely not pass by our US standards. In fact, one of the girls told me that sometimes they find cockroaches in their food. There's no dining hall, so after they get their food, kids find a spot on the lawn and sit and have their lunch. Kids had to make a really long trek down a hillside to get water, so I asked them to show me their water source. They seemed a bit skeptical because of the distance. I consider myself a fairly fit person, but after walking almost a mile straight downhill, I began to ask that age-old question, "Are we there yet?" Finally, we made it to the stream, and they washed their clothes, they bathed, and then they made the long journey back up the hill, but this time carrying heavy buckets of water. After exploring the whole campus, I was a bit puzzled. This was the amazing school that Marzi was pinning the bright future of her kids on? On the surface, it seemed like one problem after another, and not somewhere I would feel comfortable sending my kids. But then I began talking to more students. They shared how kind their teachers were and how they patiently explained lessons when they needed extra help. They were also being taught to always put God first. It was pretty obvious that despite the condition of the buildings, the school was making a huge impact on the students here. They shared their hopes and dreams about the future and told me how they wanted to be doctors, pilots, or engineers. Seeing such bright students living and learning in such deplorable conditions was hard. How would they accomplish their dreams when they were spending so much time walking for water, or not getting enough sleep at night because they were cold? And thinking about that broke my heart. Fortunately, because I work at Maranatha, I get to be part of the solution. That trip was 3 years ago, and now everything has changed on the campus. Maranatha has drilled a water well, built bright light classrooms and a beautiful kitchen and dining hall, and comfortable dormitories. Be sure to check out the TV episodes all about Kimogoro. You'll find them linked below. And let me know what you think of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss more just like it.